control the bleeding and just let the doctors and paramedics fix the broken bones. Concussion, very quickly talk about that. It is life-threatening. It is important for you to know how to deal with it. Concussion basically is the child hits his head, okay? But you don't actually need to see anything physical, okay? Not necessarily like a fracture or bleeding. It just by you shaking the brain so violently, it's enough to give him a concussion. So if you suspect the child hit his head, your job is to inform the school. Those are the manual ones. Manual ones meaning they have the ability, the doctor has the ability to control the intensity, the frequency the shock is delivered. What we have is, we have the automated ones, which means no control. It's all controlled by the CPU, the computer chip. When the bystander brings back the AED, this is what he brings back. Okay? Obviously, it doesn't look like this. This is just a simulator. AED is a little bit bigger, but unfortunately, there is no standard. Some are big, some are small, but they all talk to you. They're all automated. So as soon as the AED comes, press the power button to power on, and it will start talking to you. It'll say, stand back, stand back. It will say, put the pads on. It will say, press the shock button. It will say, shock delivered. It will say, press the analyze button, analyzing, stand back, okay? It will talk to you, and you just follow exactly what they say, all right? All right, so let me just very quickly walk you through what you do. You in the blue shirt, can you go inside the school to get me an AED? Now, these AEDs they're actually quite common now. They're all over the place. They're in sports arenas, they're in parks, they're in government office buildings, TTC, and a lot of businesses have them. They should, but again, as I said, it is not required. We are required to have a first aid box. We are required at the shop to have the eye wash station, but yeah. It's not required. Well, we should, but it's not required. Okay, so can you go inside the school, get me an AED? Now you're going to start doing CPR. You're not going to wait for the AED. Okay, now the bystander comes back with an AED. You do not stop your CPR. You're going to ask the bystander, yeah, power on, please. Please help me power on the AED. As soon as they power on the AED, it'll say, remove the pads, place the pads on the casualty. You let the bystander do all this, okay? So he's gonna put the pads on the casualty. Now, because you're doing CPR, you're kind of in the way, but it's okay. He will still be able to put the pads on while you're doing CPR. He may have to kind of wiggle his way around, and there is about 3 seconds of time, of space. When you do this, you can put the pads on. So one pad goes here, the other pad goes here. This is the ideal position. Right on the pads, it will have a diagram where the location is. If you do, this is the ideal location. If you do this, not ideal, but okay. 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 As long as you don't do this. Yeah, if you do this, it's not going to shock the heart. Yeah. But just follow the diagram. It's not rocket science, okay? This is the ideal position. So put the pads on. As soon as you put the pads on, it will sense the conduction. It'll say, stand back, stand back. And everybody does this, stand back. And the reason is because you're outside, it's very noisy. Not everybody can hear the AED. As soon as one person does this, everybody does this, and we know to stand back. We don't want to be touching the casualty when it's shocking. We don't want to be touching the casualty when it's analyzing. So stand back, stand back. Press the analyze button. Analyzing, stand back, analyzing. Press the shock button. Stand back. Shock delivered. Continue with CPR. Stand back, stand back, stand back. Press the analyze button. Analyzing, stand back, analyzing. Stand back, press the shock button. Stand back, stand back. Shock delivered. Continue with CPR. Stand back, stand back, stand back. Press the analyze button. Analyzing, stand back, analyzing, stand back. No shock required. Continue with CPR. And that's it. Just keep doing what the AED tells you. Okay? Some student asks, how many times do we place the pads on? And the answer is 1 time. Because they're confused. They think you're supposed to put the pads on, remove it, do CPR. No, the pads stay on while you're doing the chest compressions. Okay, they stay on. Remember I told you there's very small chance, so small that's almost 0, that they'll start breathing again when you're doing CPR on a person? This actually gives it a much higher chance. So yeah, when it arrives, please use it. When I was teaching at Red Cross, these things don't even exist. It's just that about, I guess, 10 years ago, they started, when the manufacturers start making this and they go, wow, this is really saving people's lives. So all the other manufacturers starts manufacturing it, and it's quite common now. You see it at concerts, how the electricity travel.
How they going to train, take it home?
Take it home, sure.
Yeah, well, I'm not robbing the person, I'm trying to help them. This is interfere.
Yes, yes.
Oh, why did you take it up the next?
You'll be surprised how electricity travel. It will do this. Because electricity takes the path of least resistance, not the shortest path. So it'll do this, it'll come out the back, they'll bypass the heart, completely pointless, so rip it off. Metal here or here is okay, but in this area you must remove it. Again, wet must dry it, same idea, okay? Because water is a good conductor of electricity. Instead of shocking or analyzing the heart, it'll travel on the surface where the water is, it won't do its job properly.
Question. You have
It's
some.
going to shock the heart, it's not going to hurt the baby, and if the woman dies, the baby will die. If they're wearing a bra, cut it off, because some bras have underwire, and you just don't have time to figure out whether it's underwire. Just cut it off, okay? So before you cut it off, take off your shirt, cover everybody, look away, put away your phones, okay? But honestly, by the time a person needs CPR, she's already dying. I don't think it really matters that her breast is exposed.